In that case, it gives me great pleasure now to invite to take the floor the former chairman of the U.S. Army Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Hugh Shelton.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson, and thanks to each of you for your very warm welcome. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to be here with you and President-elect Rejabi and my distinguished colleagues on the platform today. Today, as some of my colleagues have already said, time is of the essence. For almost a year now, my colleagues from the U.S. and I have given the facts and stated the reasons why the MEK should not be on the Foreign Terrorist Organization list. Those facts were as valid a year ago as they are today, and yet our lethargic State Department has failed to act. And lest we forget, that is the excuse that the Iraqis used this past April to invade the camp and massacre the unarmed citizens living in Camp Ashraf. The facts today, ladies and gentlemen, are abundantly clear. Even the current terrorist exporting Iranian government has trouble articulating why the MEK should remain on the Foreign Terrorist Organization list. Most recently, they tried to blame the attack against the Saudi ambassador in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, right under the nose of the State Department, on the MEK. Ironically, the MEK was defended by the U.S. State Department, who stated unequivocally this was an act of the Iranian government. It is obvious why Secretary Clinton has not complied with the Court of Appeals ruling in the District of Columbia in Washington to show the evidence as to why the MEK should be on the FTO list. That reason is abundantly clear. There is no evidence to provide. A bipartisan congressional resolution has asked the State Department to take the MEK off the list. That resolution, you might say, is joined by 30 former U.S. government officials of great caliber individuals who have served at some of the highest positions in our nation's government, who ask also to take the MEK off the list. These are individuals of great intellect, of great integrity, of great ethics. They're individuals like former Attorney General Mulcahy, former Director of the FBI Louis Freeh, former Ambassador for Counterterrorism to the State Department, as well as my distinguished colleagues here today, who have all unanimously supported taking the MEK off the list. The fact is that in 2003, we, the United States, disarmed the residents of Camp Ashraf. And in so doing, we promised them protection under the Geneva Convention as protected persons. We had an obligation and continue to have an obligation to make sure that these unarmed residents are protected. Yet, in the April attack that you just witnessed on the television, we, the United States, stood by. We did not honor our commitment. We did not honor our promise, even though we had military that were right almost in a baseball's throw of Camp Ashraf at the time. And even today, the fact that we continue to pour billions of dollars of aid into the Iraqi government, and then to say that we don't have the means to influence the Iraqi government, to make sure that they honor the commitment that we, the United States, made to the residents of Camp Ashraf, is a disgrace, and in the case of saying we don't have the ability to influence, is an outright fabrication. The United States has many tools in its kit bag. We have the military, we've got information, we've got diplomatic, we've got the economic tool as well as the military. And if we're not going to protect the residents of Camp Ashraf with our military force, then certainly we need to heed their requests for assistance and use our economic tools. And if the Iraqi government is not going to comply, if they're not going to guarantee the safety of the residents of Camp Ashraf, then we ought to quit. We and the EU combined ought to quit pouring billions of dollars of aid into the Maliki government.